today, Rivers Hoopers are back in action against the home team, FUS Rabat. Well, they always say don't change a winning team. Ogo Adedu has decided to keep his starting five. So just the one change for the Hoopers. Well, what about FUS Rabat? They have retained their starting five. Here we go, it's tip-off time, and the ball goes directly out of bounds. And we'll go again, it appears. Rivers Hoopers, FUS Rabat, Dianya. Tussling with Olasemeka. And it is the home team with Jordan picking up possession.
You feel there's tension on the floor. Every possession is going to count in this game.
Well, there's Rafael Putney just getting Sweeter caught up as he tried to just twist and turn it. There we go, first foul. It's Olasemeka, in fact, who picks it up.
Yes, Abdel Hakim Zouita, the poster boy of this FUS Rabat team. He's one of their key players and go-to heavyweight in that paint.
Foot getting in the way for Olasemeka, swung out wide. Chance for a big three! Oh, that is the way to do it.
Zuzua talked about getting some shots in right before the game tipped off. So it seems that he's a man of his word, Zuzua.
No, but we know he can shoot. When he hits his range, he is dangerous. The response coming down that left side on Mayo. FUS Rabat looking to try and get their outside shots sorted. Zuzua just coming off the other side of the rim. But they take the first points of this encounter against Rivers Hoopers.
There's a bit of jitters there from the Rivers Hoopers.
Putney, Amayo, and a drive right through the paint. That's attempt to try and deal with that, but it's Munanga is unable to really get the pass into his teammates' hands.
Well, the idea was good for him to cut through that baseline and try to find an open man inside the paint, but unfortunately, he lost that possession.
Sweeter, Dianya, Zuzua picked up again by Sweeter. The experience, he goes for a baseline three, it doesn't drop. Picked up by that man, Maxi Shamba. Maxi Shamba sees a little bit of space, tries to drive through, and the foul has been committed on the player from the DRC. It's going to be Sweeter who picks up the foul.
Yeah, looking at the replay there, Maxi Shamba not feeling shy, going straight to that basket. He picks up that foul, and that's exactly what Coach Ogo wants him to do, to drive into that paint, attract the fouls, and now he doesn't make it count.
Zuzua picking up the foul, of course. Q, over to you.
Heavyweight matchups in almost every position. And I like the matchup between Shamba and Zuzua, one we need to keep an eye on.
One of many we need to keep our eye on, like you said. First point scored, Rivers Hoopers. Jordan takes it up. Caught. FUS Rabat looking to try and hit back from that loss against Al Ittihad. Zuzua, it's swung out. Picked up by Nui. Dianya coming to give him a little bit of helping hand. Little tip in. Oh, it just doesn't fall for Dianya. And it's the Hoopers who pick it up with Amayo. Putney running into trouble, trying to pump and get himself around. There's the follow-up rebound. Nicely done by Putney.
Well, we've talked about Putney's ability to shoot from behind the arc, but now inside that paint, he's proving to be a key player for the Rivers Hoopers.
Nui, nice passing around. Zuzua picks the ball up. He's got it back into Sweeter's hands. Shot clock down to 7. As Jordan, nicely done. Zuzua going for 3. It goes up, just comes back out. Getting a lot of shots in, something that we'd like to see more of, and which we are seeing more of with this FUS Rabat. Going on the outside, they are. Putney driving through, tries to tip it over the top. Picked up by Jordan. Picked up by Nui. Gets it back out to Dianya. Zuita going right through the middle. You won't stop him from there. Oh, it just comes back out. And it's Zamalek picking it up. How about that for a defensive deal? But afterwards, look at the big dunk there coming from the 7-footer. Putney.
There's so much action going on the court. You can't even catch up end to end here, and that's exactly the thrilling action that we expected here today.
And we're all level now, just 3.5 minutes in. Nui goes for a drive, gets it out wide. Zuzua bounce pass. Well, the big man Zuita tries to climb up around those big River Hoopers players, and there is a foul that's been committed.
There is so many tall trees inside that paint, looking at Peter Olisemeka and of course Putney, but the dunk right there, look at that. Maduta catch, blocked, but the ball falls into the hands of Putney and he makes no mistake. 2 points for the Rivers Hoopers.
Chance for Zuita to get some points on the scoreboard.
Zuita scored the first points here of season 5 just yesterday against Al-Ittihad of Egypt. But today, of course, continuing on that performance from yesterday, and he'll be trying to make sure that he can lead FUS Rabat to that W.
7 points and 4 rebounds in yesterday's loss, of course, to Al-Ittihad of Alexandria. Oh, that's nicely done, just coasting down the baseline, but he can't get the points. Jordan picks it up. It's been flung up. Alley-oop! Oh, my! Knew he can't slam it down. So close.
He was in the right place at the right time, but unfortunately, he failed to connect nicely there for FUS Rabat.
Putney drops in for a big shot, big score, and up with a 3.
He's the man of the moment. 7 points for Putney, looking fresh and nice here early in the first quarter.
Nui, Diana. Oh, he's just... Zuita tries to get the rebound. Working hard. There is contact when he was trying to get the pass out. And I think that might be a foul.
Looking at the replay here, Putney with an incredible shot selection here and drowns that 3 to go up to 7 points. He literally has 7 of Rivers Hoopers' 8 points.
It was a foot on the baseline rather than any kind of contact there in the thicket and the heat of the action. Rivers Hoopers lead by 3. Here's Kelvin Amayo. Not yet made his mark with any points, of course, after a fine showing in his opener. Goes for a 3. Possession picks up once again by the Hoopers. Amaya with 19 points yesterday and 2 assists. Would like to see him with more assists, maybe, you know, bring in Olisemeka, understand how they function with Manok at catch as well. And there we go, a catch underneath. The ring scores the points and makes it a 5-point lead.
It is a beautiful finish from the South Sudanese.
Oh, brilliant follow-up from Diane. Look at that. Very aggressive, wasn't it, from Zuzua to drive right through the middle. Good follow-up, good rebound.
Well, Diane off the mark with good energy there.
Missed shot there from Maxi Shamba. Zuzua. Oh. Little problem with the strobes, but they'll just come over to UQ. No timeout. So 10 points for the Rivers Hoopers, 7 for FUS Rabat, and we shall be back in a moment. 10-7 here in Rabat, in Morocco. Rivers Hoopers, they have a 3-point lead, and look at that. Diane, 2 points already. Important points, and over to UQ.
Well, Coach Oga Odadu really emphasizing ball movement and how they're supposed to move on the defensive end. He's not happy with some of the coverage and too much time and space for some of these FUS Rabat players.
And talking about defense, Olisameka there with a great steal to force the Rivers Hoopers into transition. But a great reaction from FUS Rabat.
Yeah, good work from Nui, just preventing Mayo. Nearly steals the ball. Finally, it's in the hands of the Hoopers, who go again with Maxi Shamba. And picks up by Mayo Nui. Flung out. Oh, big shot, big shot. Madi Akej with a fantastic three. We know that he can shoot big from outside. He's done it again.
That's exactly what he was signed to do on this team. Give them a great offensive option on the perimeter, and he's able to deliver on that possession.
Suzua, shot clock down to 4. Needs to get his shot into Ita through the middle. That's brilliant play. Excellent work from Tiani. And we see the man and what he's really meant to do, because slashing through and causing all sorts of problems in the paint is exactly what you expect from the big guy.
His confidence has grown right from tip-off. You can see that he's continuing to be a problem in that paint, and now he has an opportunity to make it a three-point play as FUS Rabat try to enter the double digits on the offensive side.
We've seen zone defenses used against FUS Rabat in last season, and it might be something that I think Rivers Hoopers will flirt with later on in this contest.
FUS Rabat trailing by 4. Nui drives through. That's all by himself. I mean, you know, you've got to just give it to him. The boulevard opened up. He said, I'm going to go straight through and you know, unchallenged.
Well, great to see Nohi do that. He's been doing all the dirty work on defense, but look at him slicing through that paint of the Rivers Hoopers. They couldn't stop him. Olisameka was nearby in the paint, but he couldn't do much about it. Yesterday, he was frustrated and just made 5 points.
Oh, look at that from Jordan. Massive score there as well. Putney picking up a second foul in the process earlier.
He is a central key player here for the Rivers Hoopers, so that's not surprising.
Putney goes for 3 out wide. Nui picks it up. A little bit of contact with the leg from Madadakech, and they'll get possession back. FUS, the Rabat.
Looking at the replay here, Nuhi was trying to cross over, and the ball ended up on the shoe of Madut Akech. Of course, he's trying to say it wasn't his fault, but, you know, FUS Rabat have the ball possession. We
got the big 18-year-old BAL Elevate player, David Ike, coming on. And here's Nui going out loads of time to hit his 3. Doesn't make it. Picks up by Madut Akech. Gets it back, goes for 3 himself. It's a solid shot there. Aerial bombardment of the finest order from the South Sudan hitman.
Well, that is typical Madut Akech, bringing that fire on the offensive side, and up to 8 points for the Rivers Hoopers.
3-point lead. Jordan, 2:30 left in the first quarter. Interesting tussle so far. Nui picks the ball up, slices through the middle, gets it back out. Suita, step back. Shot comes off and picked up by Maxi Shamba. They go quickly into transition. And there is Amayo, and there's the follow-up rebound, Olisameka.
Olisameka cleaning up nicely there for the Rivers Hoopers. He's been immense on defense, but finally he gets rewarded for all of his efforts. 5-point lead against FUS Rabat.
Well, this game is being played at a high pace and intensity. You blink and it's a 2-possession switch-up, and I think that's what, a theme we might see resonate throughout this particular game.
Ben Maheen to Jordan. Jordan for 3. Snatched out of the sky, flung up there, and it's a good opportunity. Little bit of hesitation, doesn't manage to get his score. Great work, great work from Peter Olisameka with the rebound.
That is back-to-back baskets for Peter Olisameka. You can see the energy that he brought in that rebound and how he was able to twist and turn until he got those 2 points for the Rivers Hoopers.
And a timeout's being called as we see the replays. The goal of Zamalek, good strength, pumping, and then rising and scoring the 2 points there. There's a BAL ambassador, NBA legend, of course, Hakim Noah, always following this fabulous competition here, the BAL-Africa League, Season 5, and a 7-point lead for the Hoopers.
Yes, a legend from the Chicago Bulls who recently got his jersey retired, and of course always courtside supporting the growth of African basketball through the BAL. Incredible.
2013. Q, we're going to come over to you because FUS Rabat, I imagine, trying to understand exactly what they're, what's going on. We got the team stat going. Carry on, Q. Over to you.
Well, look, what they are really looking at has been trying to close off on the offensive glass. Zamalek has been a real presence inside the paint, and definitely trying to refine around that. And Coach Albazidi also talking about the high pick and roll action on the offensive end.
Akech Putney, 8-7 points. Field goal, 3-5, 3-7. Lots of rebounds. Zamalek with 5 rebounds already. Just to give you an idea of, you know, what he brings to the game. He's not just about, you know, the physical player who's just going to get tangled up with all of the bigs coming through, but he also goes and makes that ball safe on the rebound, and he can score as well.
Yes, of course, Zamalek, one of the primary leaders on the court for the Rivers Hoopers, and trying to always make sure that he's consistent on both sides of the court. That's exactly what Coach Ogo wants from him.
Ben Mahine gets it down into the corner. It's Zuita to Kudu, and racing along the baseline. There's David Ike getting in the way, and it will be Zuita going to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's one of the matchups that, of course, we have to keep an eye on. Zuita up against Ike Ugona, who's been growing in leaps and bounds.
Foul from Madad Akech, in fact. Q, we're going to come over to you because I think that they've got to be present here. We've saw that the Zuzua can hit threes. We know that he can. A little bit more of that, just to, you know, give them options.
Yeah, I like the aggression from Zuzua early. He's got to keep that kind of pace and tempo going, because right now John Jordan hasn't been a factor offensively for FUS.
Here is a catch of South Sudan, formerly of AS Douane. Oh, it just opens up for him. Kudu getting in the way. And that's a strong climb to try and get the ball off the backboard. And Kudu, who's 39 years of age, putting in a pretty good defensive block, but there is contact.
And talking about Kudu, really one of the biggest faces here in Moroccan basketball. So much experience. He's played for the national team for over a decade. And together with Zuita, they've had incredible memories representing the Kingdom of Morocco.
40 in May. Still going strong. Putting in big minutes as well. Zamalek. Trying to keep the ball in play, tries to fling it back to his teammate Nui, but it just sneaks over the line. So it will be the Hoopers who regain possession here. Zamalek. It's going to be an offensive foul, and you can see that FUS Rabat will pick up possession.
Well, FUS Rabat, of course, bringing so much pressure here. You can see that Ben Himi and Madut Akech got entangled there with their feet. It has been called as an offensive foul, and FUS Rabat will regain possession. 5-point game, but of course both sides understanding that there's margins here. 4 points for Zamalek, 2 personal fouls, which is a bit of a concern as the Rivers Hoopers are now in official foul trouble. So any foul and
you go straight to the free throw line.
Yep.
That's just exactly what happened with Okiki, because he just got in the way of Zuzua, straight to the free throw line, and another chance to just cut down that 5-point deficit.
Yeah, of course, Zuzua was, he started the game with a lot of energy, that big three-pointer to open up the gates for FUS Rabat, but now he's back, he makes it 4 personal points, but there's still so much basketball to be played as we look at Mike Fofana, one of the key players for this FUS Rabat team coming off
Top
the
scoring
bench.
for FUS Rabat with 5 points. And a chance for Kelvin Amayo to dance up court. Zuita trying to keep him in close tabs. David Ike. Mayo again, shot clock down to 4. You need to go for a shot now. He goes right through the middle. Ike, oh, it doesn't manage to go. Great defense. Kudu trying to get his hands on that. Was a little bit of contact. It wasn't intentional, but we might have to take a look at that. I think the arm of Kudu came back into the face of Okiki.
Very unfortunate there, but looking at the replay, the block, rim protector Zuita blocking Ike Ugona and saying there is no space here, you can go home.
Q, over to you.
Well, from what I can see is that they're going to let play continue, and it was a scary moment, as you called out live, but the referee's happy to just call that open play.
Good. Move on. Okiki. Just giving Maxi Shamra a little bit of a break. It comes out. There's a long-range shot for Ike right over the top, but it's been picked up by Olasameka. And again, it's Zuita. Now, this is a little bit of an issue because he'll pick up his second foul here.
You can see that Zuita second foul, Olisameka on 2 fouls as well. So it's definitely one of those matchups that we've been talking about. But of course, coming up against Kurdu and Zuita in that paint, there's no way he was going to have it easy.
And Patni is on the bench with 2 fouls as well for the Rivers Hoopers.
4.2 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. And of course, this will give them a chance to just gather, find out what shot they're going to produce with 4.2 seconds left to play before we bring an end to this first quarter. But 3 points separating the Hoopers and FUS Rabat. I think that this has been an interesting tussle. The Nigerian basketball, very physical, always guaranteed to be very physical, and I think that FUS Rabat, they're aggressive. So you got 2 kinds of basketball, styles that just come together, and it's guaranteed to produce plenty of fireworks. That's what we've got. A bit of an arm wrestle, trying to find out exactly who's going to get the upper hand in the paint between all of these different matchups.
And talking about physicality, one of the biggest worries for FUS Rabat yesterday against Al Ittihad was second chance points. They conceded 16 in total against the Egyptian side, and they thought that that's something they can address. But now they've already conceded 10 second chance points against the Rivers Hoopers. And look at that man, Madut Akech, showing his lethal shooting skills right there with a 3-pointer for the Rivers Hoopers.
With the Flamengo head finish. Here he is, Madut Akech, of course, last game, this game. You can see that, he's moving forward in the right direction. We're only at the first quarter. There's plenty of numbers that we can increase on that, but gives you an idea of the quality that he brings. Brilliant start for his team, the Rivers Hoopers, in their opening clash. And it was a solid victory, to be honest with you, beating Stade Malien 81-60.
Yes, and he's 2 for 2 behind the arc. That's 100% shooting, as you've seen there on the stats leaderboard. And impressive.
4.2 seconds to go. Madut Akech goes for 3, hits the 3. It's a buzzed-up beater. Look at that. Clutch shot big time, 23-17. That is how to do it. Legendary scoring from Madut Akech. And we will take a break.
We are now in Akajiro National Park. It's a home of the Big Five.
I fell in love in Kigali. People like to enjoy life.
This was my dream since I was a kid, walking with the gorillas every day.
There is something really magical about Nungwe National Forest. This is our little piece of heaven.
Rwanda is a place that everybody should really visit.
Welcome to Rwanda.
It began with a dream of connecting the heart of Africa to the world. The first pioneers were brave, venturing into skies unknown, and today the same spirit lives on. Rwanda soars higher, carrying dreams and stretching our frontiers. It's not just a flight, it's an experience, the kind where every detail is designed to make you feel at home. Rwanda is more than an airline. We are a bridge between Africa and the world, between you and your dreams. Welcome to Kigali.
I mean, we are here in Rabat, Morocco, and this is about to start the second quarter of this fabulous showdown between the Rivers Hoopers, FUS Rabat. You can see it's 23-17, but you can also see that Madat Akech just hit an incredible three-pointer. But FUS Rabat fighting valiantly. There's so much that we can see in this second quarter.
Well, you can talk about how three-range shooting, 3 for 3, those 9 points are already the difference here. It is a 6-point game, but Madat Akech's threes are what is the difference here for the Rivers Hoopers. I mean, the man has more range than a DJ's playlist.
What? Wait. Q, help me. Where did that come from?
I have no idea, but he is having an outstanding game when he turns the ball over.
Zazua goes down. That's a fabulous layup. Drive aggressively. Big time scoring there. He's up to 7.
Well, Zazua is now showing that he's the go-to man at the start of every quarter, bringing that energy, and that's what they need FUS Rabat in this game.
PK gets it back out. Noiri picks it up. And there's Amayo, of course. Shot clock down to 3. Oh, drop it in. Massive score there for Kiki Afuape. Brilliant.
Oh, Kiki has been doing a lot of work on defense, and finally he gets a range shooter there, a jumper. He needed it for his confidence. There was that scare earlier in that first quarter, but now he's looking good and could make it a 3-point play.
Well, key stat from that first quarter is the 10 offensive rebounds, 19 total boards for the Rivers Hoopers. They have been dominant on the glass, and that has been a factor in how they've managed to compile this lead.
Traveling call going against Ben Hameen. And they give the ball back to the Hoopers.
Yeah, that's good defense from Kelvin Amayo. He's not scored points yet, but he's been doing so much work there on Nuhi on defense.
But sometimes when you're expected, you know, when you play your first game and you score a whole, you know, bag of points, as we see a brilliant drive going through. It's just sensational. He is just in top form, 28-19. Just look what he's doing.
He's up to 13 points, first player in double digits there in this game, Madat Akech.
Great drive there from Nui. Attracts a lot of attention. It's Akech who will pick up a second foul with that drive through the paint from Nui. And he'll go straight to the free throw line.
Yeah, Robbie, there's definitely a great distribution there of fouls between the key players for both these teams. But looking at Nuhi's drive into that paint, it's the second time that he's doing it in this game, and he's realized that, you know what, if he does it, he could actually get a free trip to the free throw line.
A free ticket to the free throw line.
Yes.
Right now, it is the job of FUS Rabat to figure out how to stop this red-hot scoring from Madat Akech. I'm not sure if they even have an answer, because he is a coverage problem because of his ability to stretch the floor and get inside all at the same time.
A few decades ago, we'd say tie his laces together. Great chance. Big shot, big shot. How about that? It goes in. Zouzoua hits 3, and FUS Rabat
Incredible.
reeled him in a little bit.
From Zouzoua. He is the man with the hot hand right there, and he has FUS Rabat staying alive against the Hoopers.
Double figures now for the Ivorian. But the trouble is, he's picked up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, that's a big problem, and you can see the coaching staff of FUS Rabat toying with the idea of bringing him to the bench. And that's exactly what Madrid can do. He's driving into that paint and, of course, exposing Zouzoua there on defense, and he heads to the bench, but you can see he's a bit apologetic for the foul.
And of course, just on the pile of points that he's just dropping into his swag bag is just ridiculous. That gets up to 14 points. Zouzoua is forced to go to the bench, and there's a 7-point lead. But look at Akesh, he's up to 14. 3 from 3 points, and is shooting at the free throw line, looking slick as well until then.
Yeah, he's 1 for 2 on the free throw line, Madrid Akesh.
Back out to Jordan. Waits for support. Diani, he's got Fofana. There's a chance for them with Beiri. Jordan goes around the outside, goes through the inside. Oh, come on! Jordan hitting 2 plus 1.
That's a big bucket there from Jordan. He's been trying to find that rhythm in this game. You can see the way he goes through 3 Rivers Hoopers players, and finally Ike Ugona falls for that kind of artistry. Here, 0 points, 2 fouls for Jordan, and he's going to try and make sure that he changes that.
There's so many interesting battles that are taking place.
There's so much going on the court, but Rivers Hoopers, of course, with the ball possession and seeing how they can increase this lead.
Kewanamayo, still no points on the board. Akesh is just piling them up. That time, it's just a little bit short. Possession back in the hands of Amayo. Diania just defensively holding him up. 5-point lead, 7:47 left to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the physicality of this game. Ike Ugona doing so much of that work in that paint. But you can see Coach Ogo changed a couple of tactics there, brings back Olisemeka and Patney, who were very crucial in that first quarter 6-point lead.
It's a bit of a gamble here from Coach Odadu with both Olisemeka and Patney on 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, so it is risky business, but I mean, you know, they believe in their cause. Maxi Shamba, shot clock down to 2, it's a big one. Oh no! Where did that come from? Out of space, out of nowhere, Amayo mania.
Well, Amayo always making things look easy there, and easy bucket for his first 3 points in this game.
Big shot there, Ben Maheen. He goes over the top. There's the attempt to try and get it in by Diania. 32-24. And the Hoopers go charging up into the lane. And again, Amayo causing all sorts of issues in this FUS Rabat defense.
He is transitioning his defense, incredible defense, into offense with that 3-pointer, and now driving into that paint. You can see the precision that he was trying to go up with. But Beiri is the man that has fouled him, and he goes to the free throw line. Looking at Ike Ugona, the BAL Elevate player from the NBA Africa Academy. Just looking good and trying to make sure that he uses the minutes that he gets on the court. And of course, such an inspiration for so many Nigerian teenagers back home who are supporting him in Port Harcourt and really across the country.
That's great work. Look at that. It's fantastic defensive play there from Jordan, just keeping the ball away from Olisemeka. It goes up! It goes in! Berry bringing it on for FUS Rabat.
That is Berry, the man who knows the bearing on this court, just drowning that three-pointer from the baseline.
Berry.
Berry.
Big shot coming in. What is going on? Mayo doubling up with his three-pointer there from downtown.
Wow, what a back-to-back, action that we're experiencing here. It's a shooting clinic.
6:25. Jordan's bit of space. Needs to make a decision. Gets it out. Ben Maheen down in the corner. Berry fancied his chances down on the baseline. Amayo goes driving in. Get out of there. But there was an initial foul. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Kelvin Amayo definitely has what it takes to put defenders on skates, but he found Diane in that paint, very strong, and there's contact from Ben Himi, but he'll go to the free throw line with an opportunity to extend this lead past 10 points.
Basket counted on that because the block came in after it touched the backboard, so it's going to just shoot one.
A three-point play it is. Well, that was just a run, wasn't it? Rivers Hoopers take an 11-point lead. Timeout it is. And the FUS Rabat need to plunge into the think tank. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
Et maintenant, sur le parquet de la BIL, ici à Rabat, maximum de bruit pour la FUS Academy!
Welcome back to Rabat. Look at the team stats here. It's Madadakej with 14 ahead of Kelvin Amayo. And Asho, look at the other side. Zazu is great. He's having a fantastic game. But, with the 3 fouls, you've got to think that it's risky business now.
Yeah, risky business as he is on the bench. But Kelvin Amayo with 0 points in the first quarter and a quick 10 here, even before we get to halfway in the second quarter. That tells you a player that can be dependable.
Right, it's just a little bit hard off the glass there from Diane. It was a good opportunity. You've got to seize those moments, seize every opportunity you get. Rebounds, offensive ones, vital.
You talk about vital here. We have an interesting matchup, Amayo and Benhemi.
Shot clock, yeah, look at the shot clock. He's down to 3, he's going. He's trying to go through. Oh, there's a touch of the net there, and yeah, that's just going to be the Hoopers who take advantage. Diane getting in the way.
Offensive interference, and they'll pick up 2 points. Gives me a chance to just talk about what we saw in the FUS Rabat huddle and the focus. Talking to John Jordan, they want him to take a little bit more responsibility on the offensive end and kind of pick up the scoring that Zuzwa was doing in the first quarter.
Well, we've seen earlier that you can't have just one player that you are depending on offensively. There has to be multiple sources.
That is fantastic. So Zuita, when he wants to, he can do anything. And just showing just how it should be done. Baseline drive, excellent strength as well, and a fantastic score for the Moroccan team. And then you've got that. Where did that come from? Wow. Astronomic, glorified, dropping in from a different stratosphere. Oh, reverse dunk, beautifully done from Zuita. Come on, this is top quality, 5-star.
Before we couldn't even express ourselves on that three-pointer from Madadakej, which makes it 4 3-pointers for the South Sudanese.
Big game this one for both teams, of course, as we see that man, Maxi Shamba, trying to find the player from South Sudan. Putney goes up, tries to get away from his man. It goes out and picks up there by Berry, up to Ben Maheen. Great drive and a good score as well. Excellent fast transition and an important score that was for FUS Rabat.
Well, he's cooking there, Benhimi. You can see what it meant. Of course, he's complaining that he thinks there was a foul, but great for FUS Rabat to really stay in this game. It's a 10-point game, but FUS Rabat, incredible. Look at that finish from Madadakej from Alia. Best line, easy, and the connect there from Jordan to Zuita. just turnaround dunk. Nothing special, you know.
I can ask you afterwards once he's finished with the timeout, you know, with his spying stuff, you know, if he's ever done one of those.
No, he's done so many. I've seen him.
He does other stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
During his career.
It's an easy thing. And you know what? We have his former coach from 2003 when South Africa stunned Senegal. Sam Vincent, who's sitting here courtside, he's been able to tell us and prove that Q was a menace on the court and in the paint.
We know he was. We know he was.
We know.
But we'll hear it from him as well.
Yes, for sure.
Just a bit of backup. Q, were you there? Have you been listening in?
I unfortunately caught the tail part of our conversation. And yes, Sam Vincent is here, and it's interesting to have him courtside for some verification. Nonetheless, when we come back to the game, a timeout here from Coach Oga Odadu, just to bring some semblance of a break in the scoring for FUS Rabat, trying to kill their run and give back some organization on the offensive end.
It's important, isn't it, where you see Sayed El Bouzidi as well, the head coach of FUS Rabat, trying to understand and trying to work out what's happening here. Almayo, shot clock down to 10. Patney picks it up. Listen, it's all perfect. Patchworking. You know, a masterpiece is something unique. That was delightful. Putney finishing it off. Great team move.
There's definitely a ball magnet in that corner. Madu Takech has already scored from there, and now Putney literally putting his name on that corner to make sure that they extend this lead. 13 points. That's the difference between the Rivers Hoopers and FUS Rabat.
Diam just trying to get the ball back off Maxi Shamba so they get possession. There's Jordan. Ben Maheen picks it up. Jordan driving through. That's excellent. Hook over the top. That is sublime. What a wonderful touch he has. And that's a big score for Jordan, who's up to 6.
That is a sensational finish. Q talked about him taking that offensive role and digging deep with this FUS Rabat team, and now he's executing.
Picture by Maxi Shamba. He's flat out on the floor after getting tangled up with Dianya. And that's straight up to the free throw line. FUS Rabat with 5 team fouls. And there's the man of the moment. Madu Takech with 15 points, leading the boards across both teams. Fabulous long-range shooting, but also support, passing, everything.
Well, absolutely. 4 3-pointers before the halftime break is incredible by any means necessary here in the Basketball Africa League. But frustration there from Maxi Shamba Munanga, who misses his first 3-pointer. I mean, his first free throw. But you can see 1 point, 2 assists, and he would want to increase that. So it's 2 points for the man.
12-point lead and 3:12 left to play. Jordan straight up the other end. Get it moving. Azuga's come on. Berry. Jordan. Azuga trying to turn around his man. That's a nice score as well. Didn't he do fantastically to deal with Coco?
Yeah, he did well. Azuga is always that impact player. We saw a lot of that in season 4 last year, especially in Pretoria, and he would want to build on that experience here.
Raphael Putney, new recruit for the Rivers Hoopers. He's turned, he's tried to get himself. Oh, there's a bit of contact on Jordan. It was accidental, but he fell over. There was Coco. Fanny Coco just fell over Jordan. You could see that he went down quite hard. He's going to be fine. And they get possession. Foul committed. But look at the wrestling match there between Olasemeka and Zuita. It's fantastic. Q wants to get in there as well.
That's great boxing out from Jordan. You can see what it means for him in terms of just playing great defense for FUS Rabat. But Coco Jr., the young brother of Vincent Coco, who was captain of the Rivers Hoopers last season and saw them go all the way to finish 3rd in season 4.
That is fabulous. Bide your time, wait for your moment. Nui doing the damage, and I think that Kevin Amayo knew about it afterwards as well.
Yeah, that's definitely going to the Instagram highlights reel. I can tell you for sure.
Bad pass, picked up by Zuita. Oh, Nui just couldn't control. He was already thinking about the next thing that was happening.
Yeah,
2 minutes to go.
He was thinking ahead of himself, Nui.
Look at that. That's a fantastic maneuver, isn't it?
Look at that. Incredible fake for Nui, and he scores that basket. You can see what it means to him. And he was trying to do the same thing earlier.
Well, there's a factor that we haven't spoken about that's starting to gain prominence, and that's the crowd. The Rivers Hoopers have played well enough to keep the crowd out of it, but right now, the crowd is starting to get back into it, and you can see the momentum starting to shift on the floor.
A lunging move there for Jordan, who will pick up his second foul as we come into the last 1:45. But the problem is they're on 5 team fouls, so it's every time free throw line coming mistakes like that, because they're just easy points for the Rivers Hoopers.
Well, depending on, of course, the strategy for the Rivers Hoopers, and knowing Coach Odaudu, this is something that he likes to milk, if you can put it bluntly. He will try to ask his players to drive into that paint, and partly missing the first free throw. Frustrated, of course, but he'll definitely want to correct that with this second attempt.
Putney getting the second, 48-39. Nui. 4 points so far. Berry, foul, and that is going to be Akech on the second. Just rising and moving the leg, that's all it took. Just to try and thwart him as he tried to find that channel around the outside.
I mean, 2 personal fouls for 4 players there for the Rivers Hoopers: Madu Takech, Olise Meka, Putney, and Ike Ugona. So that's 3 of 4 starters. Not a worry right now, but they'll have to keep an eye on that.
Nui goes up for 3. Rolls out. Made safe by Akech at the back. Goes high. Too far.
Putney was right in the middle of traffic. Nui not giving him any space, and it is a turnover there for the Rivers Hoopers as Jordan tries to slow things down for FUS Rabat.
1:15 left to play. Jordan, Zuita, looking for options. Has it with Bailey. Down into the corner, Nuhi. Zuga trying to get around. That's nicely done. That's a fantastic score. Love the way that he spun so elegantly around Akech. That was a delight to the eye.
That's a great fighting spirit there from Azuga. He's already scored some very important points here for FUS Rabat at the right time to keep the momentum going for the home side.
Patience in the paint is going to be vital for the bigs. That is nearly a score there for Putney. Now a good chance this is for FUS Rabat to get back. They trail by 7. And that is going to be Zuita driving through and attracting attentions. He'll go straight to the free throw line. 5 fouls for Rivers Hoopers.
5 team fouls for the Rivers Hoopers. And looking at the replay there, Azuga up against the catch. There's a bit of a size issue, but he finds his arm under Madu Takech. Eyes on the basket, and 2 points for FUS Rabat.
Fabulous way, Q, you'll know all about this in the paint, of course, as a former player. But we saw Azuga, he put his arm around Akech, so he's basically opening up, you know, his pathway. And after that, Akech can't defend it because he can't move into the man.
No, great space separation from Azuga. He uses all of his footwork and his skill, and it's a tough cover when he does catch it with his back to the basket.
22 left to play. We've got a differential of about 6. Akech picks it up, driving right through the middle, tries to go around. That's an incredible defensive play. It goes way over the top. There's the rebound, because he's always there. He's so dangerous. Now 7 seconds left to play. Jordan takes it quick. It's 50-42. Jordan goes up for 3. Doesn't fall. There's the rebound, and the rebound. But is there any thing there. There's no foul at all. It's an 8-point lead for Rivers Hoopers at half-time. Interesting battle. The tussle will continue in the third quarter. But how about that? Rivers Hoopers with an 8-point lead. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights from the first half. What do you think about that, Usher? So Zazua doesn't start at the top of the third as we get it going with Jordan in possession. It's 50-42, and FUS Rabat looking to try and cut that deficit of 8 points. Jordan steps up for a big three.
Well, the instructions are very clear there from Said El Bouzidi. They're looking for those three-pointers. You can see the breadth on the court between Jordan, Nuhi, and Bayri, who are three-point shooters.
Maxi Shamba, he's been caught out, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Amayo, and that is a botched attempt to try and score points. And I think it's going to be FUS Rabat who pick up possession. That was very aggressive play from FUS Rabat, just stopping them, thwarting them, and causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah, that's Bayri inside that paint. So many hands on the ball as Patney tries to get to the basket, but there's a lot of pressure on the ball when it hits the rim.
Into the paint it goes. Suita, it's flung back out to Jordan. Jordan, shot clock down to 8. Trying to go past Olisa Mecca. There it is. That's nicely done. Great pass into the hands of that man, Suita. And a foul. I think there was contact, so Suita, it's the three-point play, potentially.
Yes, that's 2 quick points there from FUS Rabat to reduce that deficit to 6. But good eyes there from Jordan to find Suita, who makes the easy basket. Of course, apart from that foul.
It's Maxi Shambo picks up the foul. The drummers are going ballistic up in the stands, which is fantastic, the way that we love it. No offensive rebound. It's just a 2-point play finally, and they trail by 6.
The Rivers Hoopers now have pressure. They have to try and see if they can score in this fast one.
Oh, that's a great... Oh, get out of there, Suita! Defending his territory with cause.
He's doing a lot, both on defense and offense.
That's a brilliant piece of play. Get it in there. Azuga underneath and over.
Incredible play there. Again, another twist and turning antic there from Azuga to increase his points to 6.
All credit to Suita with the pass, of course, and they lose possession. The hassle continues, the hustle continues. Look at what Suita does. First of all, stop that, get out of my home, you're not coming through. And then that.
Well, FUS Rabat are the team with the rhythm here at the start of the third quarter, and perhaps coming from the home support.
Amayo for 3. Now, what was that? Was there I think there was an off-the-ball issue.
You can see the frustration there on the face of Said El Bouzidi. It's a 4-point game, Robbie.
Very close. Oh, he does it with his eyes closed, doesn't he, mad at that catch? He's up to 21 points now.
There's definitely a ball magnet in his hands, Maduta Kedge. We have to look at him carefully.
Inspector Gadget, we'll call him.
Yes.
Nui. Suita picks it up. Goes down baseline. Big shot, big bucket, get in there. Bayri delivers.
Incredible there from Bayri, and the crowd is eating that up. They're enjoying, and they can start to see this rhythm here from FUS Rabat.
Well, here comes the crowd, and we've seen Bayri set up in the corner. It's a shot they look for, and it's a shot he has made consistently.
Oh, Maxi Shamba!
Well, he's serving a lot of shots there, Maxi Shamba, showing what he can bring on offense to the Rivers Hoopers.
Another chance, Azuga. Surely not. Why? Oh my! That because that triggered the fans in a big way. Another big three. It is 50 feet, 55, 52.
Incredible shooting from both teams, coast to coast, back to back, and you love to see it.
Watch out for Malek going down baseline, tries to turn, tries to use the... Look at that for scoring, using the glass, and a great 2 points for him.
That is absolutely Magnet Madut Akech.
Jordan waits, gets to that wide, Azuga. Azuga goes up, mid-range two, he gets fouled. And is that Putney with his third foul?
That definitely looked like a confidence shot there from Azuga. There's a bit of a twist there from his right hand, because there's the foul, and then he'll go to the free throw, 5-point game.
Azuga has given FUS Rabat some really good scoring off the bench. Yesterday only scored 4 points in his outing, but you could tell that he wants to have an impact on both ends of the floor, and he's provided that for Coach Al-Bouzidi. So
Putney is now on 3 fouls. Just to give you an idea, he's the first player for the Rivers Hoopers who's got 3, just like Zazua, and that will put a little bit of pressure on Coach Ugo Adaru to maybe take him off for a minute, bring him back on a little bit later.
Odaudu is a man that does not crumble under pressure. He has so many options on the bench. He has Ike Ugona in that position. He's
snatched by Maxi Shamba. Amayo gets fouled, of course, by Nuhi.
That is Nuhi's first personal foul here today. He's been incredible on defense, but coming up against an Amayo in transition would not amount to much right there. He uses his body to twist there, and it is a foul on Nuhi.
There's something about home court advantage that obviously plays its part.
I think we're going to see and feel a lot more of that as the clock starts to wind down.
Second shot good from Mayo. He moves up to 12. 3 players on double figures. 2 for FUS Rabat, Zazua and Zuita. Jordan still waiting for him to, oh, look at that. That is a blind pass over the head, and a great score indeed there for FUS Rabat.
Incredible. It is now a 4-point game, and FUS Rabat are starting to smell that tie that could change this game.
Look at the press. They got players on their own and ready to score. Little touch, all comes off the head and picked up by Zuita. Zorga, that's confidence, big time. And another chance. Bayri goes up, gets the ball back out. Nuhi. Oh my word, Zuita! Smashing it down, waiting in the shadows. He hits a big 2.
That's a big combination there from 2 big players who have risen to the moment. Look at Nuhi through the baseline, beats Madut Akech and finds Zuita, who easily puts that up. And wow, incredible. 2-point game.
The running lines were just outrageous. 58 points for the Hoopers, 56 for FUS Rabat.
C'est là, mesdames et messieurs, que l'émoji calme. Je vous demande d'imiter à chaque fois sur l'écran géant ce que vous voyez.
We are now in a Kajero National Park. It's a home of the Big 5.
I fell in love in Kigali. People like to enjoy life.
This was my dream since I was a kid, working with the gorillas every day.
There is something really magical about Nungwe National Forest. This is our little piece of heaven.
Rwanda is a place that everybody should really visit.
Welcome to Rwanda.
C'était
Rivers Hoopers 58, FUS de Rabat 56, Zuita. Oh my word, Zuita, what has he just done? 13 points, and he becomes the third player to hit double figures. There's been some miracles happening here in Morocco. We've been loving it. We're going to get a reaction from Q just from that timeout.
Well, sometimes the timeouts are not about X's and O's, and this was one of those. Coach Oga Odadu just on his team about matching the intensity that they're receiving on the floor, and we'll see if his team is able to execute that out of the timeout.
Hudney goes up, but he's been thwarted. Nui, surely not. Zuita. Oh, he just can't get the tip. There's a little bit of contact straight to the free throw line for Nui. Nui's aggression. Come on.
If there is a player who can bring the intensity to this FUS Rabat team, it will definitely be Nui. He tries to find Zuita once again for that combo, but the ball doesn't drop. Nui straight to the free throw line, but wow, now we have a game on our hands. 2-point game halfway through the third quarter.
And 4 fouls for Raphael Putney midway through the third. So just take a look at that. That is going to be pivotal in how coaches change what they're trying to do. First shot goes in. Fans getting behind every single thing that FUS de Rabat are doing. Rivers Hoopers, it's about them dealing with this pressure. It's about how they can cope in this environment now.
We talked about Coach Odaudu and his tactics. Of course, now he's worried 4 personal fouls for one of his big men in that paint. He brings back Ike Ugona, the teenager, who of course knows what to do.
I might want to keep an eye on Putney walking with a little bit of a limp.
Zuita just slips. They score their 2 points. They've got a 3-point lead. FUS de Rabat.
Well, that's just 10 points for the Rivers Hoopers in this quarter in 6 minutes of playing time.
Taken forward there by Maxi Shamba of the DRC. DR Congo, point guard goes forward. Amayo hits a 3 in the corner. The marvelous big-time shooting from Amayo. He's done it before, he does it again. 15 points for him now.
That is incredible from Kelvin Amayo. In 1.5 quarters, he's already shown his quality.
That's a great score as well. Brilliant work. Zuita going up, tries to claim that there was contact too, but it's a 4-point game, 3:40 left to play in the third.
Great there from the 39-year-old Zuita.
Good work, Maxi Shamba. Oh, the ball just sneaks out of his hands. And I think you can see that Azuga's just trying to plead his innocence.
Looking at the replay, yeah, of course he...
Leg came out, arm came out.
Yes, there was definitely contact there between Azuga and Maxi Shamba, one of the most consistent point guards on the African continent for both club and country. And you can say the best Congolese point guard.
Zuzua's come back on, finally. Olisameka, go alone, he's saying, Amayo. Look, there's some very tight press going on here. No score, shot clock down to 0. Those are the moments that can change the game.
Yes, that's great defense there, of course, from FUS Rabat. They'll be proud. And you can see them getting that energy from the crowd, but they know that they have to be consistent. They have to try and transit that defense into offense.
Or maybe something to keep an eye on just in terms of scoring. Zuita's high in the BAL, 16 points coming against the Cape Town Tigers. He's got 15 now, and every chance of surpassing that high in the BAL-Africa League.
Zuzua's shot, it's a long-range effort, made safe by Olisameka. And Maxi Shamba over to the other side. Madida catch. Shoots long, look, he's being this... long-range shot, off the metal. Picks out, look at that. How did Jordan get out of that thicket?
Well, he got the ball from Ugo and Olisameka.
There's a chance for Azuga, straight down the middle. Oh, it just rolls out. Jordan was looking for the rebound as well with that vertical leap of his. Wow, this is crazy.
This is crazy, but you can see Kelvin Amayo asking his teammates to relax so that they can run the cloak.
Olisameka gets it back out. Maxi Shama gets his shot. It's Jordan who makes it safe. Sweeter gonna go home alone. Surely he is. Oh my word! Another catch, but I think that was considered as goaltending because the ball was already coming down. 2 points straight in the pot, and it's a 2-point game.
It is great defense there from FUS Rabat. They've been doing a lot of work in this quarter so far. They've scored 21 points so far and limited the Rivers Hoopers to 11.
I mean, it's just the temperature, how it's just been churned up maximum. This is now, you know, very much game on. What they've done is extraordinary.
And what we've gotten is the best of Zawita on the floor, and you see the impact that he can have from inside the paint.
Watch out for Olisameka driving through.
Yeah, talking about Zwita, of course, he's been getting a lot of help from that man, Azuga, in that paint. But now Gianni is back trying to help, but Olisameka draws a foul and will go to the free throw line. The Rivers Hoopers are shooting 41% on the free throw line, 7 for 17. And Olisameka misses yet another free throw. That could be a worry for Coach Odaudu.
Listen, what he's doing in the rebound department, you know, is sterling already. He's got 11 of those, but that's a double miss, that is, for Peter Olisameka. 0 from 4 from the free throw line. That's just not a good percentage, is it? You'll want to change that.
And he has already amassed 11 rebounds, Olisameka.
Zazua for 3. Oh, he knocks down the big bucket. The FUS Rabat fans go wild.
That is a massive three-pointer, timely at the moment. And of course, his third three-pointer tonight.
And FUS Rabat move into the lead for the first time since yesteryear. That's a great score, but that's just turned around. It was momentarily.
It is 25 points for that man, Madu Takej, the man with the hot hand.
Only he could have thwarted that magical moment. Zazua picks it up, waits, bides his time. Kika goes right through! Oh, that is sensational. The Ivorian with another 2. Up to 15 he goes.
He weaves his way around that paint, and Rivers Hoopers did not see him coming.
FUS Rabat back in the lead. There's Ike trying to get his points. There was a foul before Ike got himself into the paint, I think.
That is correct. Foul call on the ground, and it's going to be 2 shots for FUS Rabat in the penalty.
With 40.2 seconds left to play. This is high-octane stuff here in Rabat. Just look at that from Zazua.
Zazua finds the angle at the right time, swish from the best line, and celebration there from his teammates on the bench. You can see what it means to them, and the fans, young and old, celebrating. Wow, that is 7 for 20 on the free throw line. 35% on the free throw line from the Rivers Hoopers. That is very dismal by their own standards.
And the crowd now well and truly in this one.
And it's made safe, and that's the second time that they've had a pair of free throw shots, and none of them have gone in. Fans' involvement, well, it's turning into an electrified situation here in Rabat.
Yeah, the run.
Yeah, that would have been something special again. He would have moved up to 18. Foul committed on Diania, but a fine bucket there scored by Zazua.
Zazua has done an incredible job on offense, especially since this game started, bringing that energy as Diane goes to the bench, and in comes Nuhi.
It was they just collided, in fact, Diania and Okiki. Amayo. Jordan making life complicated. Okiki picks it up. Being marshaled there by Nui. Jordan. Nui picks up the rebound. Shot clock down to 3, and a foul's been committed. Now, is that a catch?
Yes, it is.
Number 3.
That his third foul with 1.1 seconds on the clock. You can see the FUS Rabat fans, you know, supporting their team. Nuhi trying to go through 3 Rivers Hoopers players, and the foul has been called on Madu Takech. We've talked about that matchup so many times between Nuhi and Madu Takech, who've been very important for their teams today.
I think it's gone to Okiki. There was a little bit of contact first before a catch because he went between the 2 players. Hence the reason why he's lucky not to have got his third. But wow, 65-66, 1.1 seconds remaining.
And talking about 1 point, that is...
There it is, 2-point lead.
2 for 6.
Got to go for the shots. It's not going to happen. A 2-point lead for FUS Rabat. This is extraordinary. Usher, this is extraordinary. The home team with home advantage here with their fans have a 2-point lead going into the final quarter. Rivers Hoopers with work to do. It's going to be a fantastic showdown. Hope you're watching.
Ils sont maintenant avec notre ami Jamil au centre de terrain. Ils auront 30 secondes pour faire entendre dans cette francs possible. La personne qui fera le plus dans cette francs gagnera. Ok, Jamil, c'est à toi.
Avec Anas à ma gauche et Ryan à ma droite, je vous invite à aller au lancer franc, messieurs. Allez-y. Et dès le top, nous allons savoir combien vous allez marquer de lancer franc. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Toujours 0-0. 1 point pour Anas.
It began with a dream of connecting the heart of Africa to the world. The first pioneers were brave, venturing into skies unknown, and today the same spirit lives on. Rwanda soars higher, carrying dreams and stretching our frontiers. It's not just a flight, it's an experience, the kind where every detail is designed to make you feel at home. Rwanda is more than an airline. We are a bridge between Africa and the world, between you and your dreams. Welcome to Kigali.
(65-67) heading into the 4th quarter. We have been blessed with some extraordinary basketball here today, and as you can see from the game summary, look at that, 10 from 19 3 points. That is fantastic. 6-17 for FUS Rabat. Wow.
It definitely has been an incredible comeback there from FUS Rabat, scoring an impressive 25 points while limiting the Rivers Hoopers to just 15. That is, of course, the lowest number of points that the Rivers Hoopers have scored here today in 1 quarter. And you can see the fans enjoying every minute of this. It's the last quarter. This is the business end of the game.
Q.
Coach Al-Bazidi emphasizing their execution. They have a play that they've been running that's been working pretty well for them. And I'm sure we're going to see a couple more touches for that man, Zurita and Azuga on the inside.
Indeed. Still have possession there. It's Maxi Shamba who will get his hands on the ball. Zuita getting himself involved. Zuzua still on the floor, of course, with his 3 fouls. That's he's gonna stay as well, I imagine. Amayo. Shot clock down to 2 seconds. Got to get the shot in. It goes high. Well, that was a brilliant score, and it was in before the shot clock went to 0.
Well, and now we have a tied game, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen a few times in the 4th quarter, I get the impression. Zuzua, that's nicely done. Azuga gets the ball back out. Zuzua Cuts past Adech. Oh, drop it in for two. Under 17 he goes. And matching Zuita with his tally, a 2-point lead.
So what can the man not do? He can shoot threes, he can drive into the paint, he can shoot jumpers. Incredible from Zuzua.
Fantastic play. Oh, a little bit of pressure there. EK driving through and foul committed.
That is a third personal foul.
From Zuita.
Yep. As Ike Ugona goes to the free throw line.
Missed his last two. Fans encouraged it. That's a fine score. That's a fine shot there from Ike.
We've talked about the physicality of this game, and that usually translates into trips to the free throw line, and that could be eventually the defining factor here in the result.
That's cool-headed shooting, that is, from David Ike, just from the free throw line. Getting his two, having lost his last two. Back in business.
Yep, that's the 5th time that we have the game tied today.
39% from the free throw line, 45 for FUS Rabat. Zuita gets the ball out to Azurga. Here's Zuzua, back out to Azurga. Nicely done. Big score! Azurga hitting a three!
That's a big one from FUS Rabat. Their 7th straight three-pointer, and now they're back in the game. 3-point lead for the Moroccan champions.
Maxi Shamba, Akech. Nice pass. Goes out wide. Big shot. Right over the top. Made safe there by Nui. Oh, Jordan loses possession. Look at that from Amayo. Dunks it down, Amayo. Wow, that was daylight robbery. Skullduggery. Outrageous.
Skullduggery by Amayo. That was personal. It looked personal.
Superb fifth.
Zuzua goes up. Big shot. Doesn't drop. Back off the medal. These fans enjoy themselves big time.
Yeah, it is the first time that the BAL is in the Kingdom of Morocco. And you can see for these Moroccan players playing in front of their families and friends, Azurga making the FUS Rabat fans very proud.
1-point lead.
Ice in his veins.
7:40. Maxi Shamba. Amayo. Goes for a big long-range shot. That's been made safe. Zuzua weaves between the players to get out of trouble. Zuita. Zuzua makes the call. Wants a high screen. Then he goes, gets it out to the corner. Big long-range shot. It's gone over the top. Nearly gets the rebound there, Nuhi, but it's in the hands of Madad Akech. It's a 1-point game. Oh, get out of there. Wow. That is extraordinary. Look at that block. It came out of nowhere.
Azurga always playing with so much intensity. Madad Akech with eyes on the basket, but Azurga telling him, this is my house. You have no place here. Well, Madad, of course, will have to orchestrate another move if he wants to go past Azurga.
Prosecutors will be arrested on place.
Looks like it.
There you go, there's it down in the corner. There's Maxi Shamba with a big bucket in the corner. Rivers Hoopers respond. 2-point lead, 6:35 to go.
Incredible passing there within the Rivers Hoopers players on the court. Every pass had purpose, and Maxi Shamba finishing off easily in that corner.
Nui, Zuzua. A little pass to Nui. Tries to deal with that catch. Going through, that's a traveling call. The little foot shuffle that was spotted very quickly because he just ran into a brick wall. It was so complicated.
That's the size that the Rivers Hoopers have in this game. And And looking at the replay there, of course, the referee, Didier Gaga from Rwanda, right on the money. And guess who's coming back onto the court?
Raphael Putney.
Raphael Putney.
6-11, 2-point lead. Hoopers back and forth. Amayo into the corner, back out. Putney, he shows, and then he tries to slam it in. Olisameka, they've stolen the ball. They picks it up. Zuzua goes through. Can't get the bucket, but he does get the foul.
Wow, incredible transition there from Zuzua. He's been very consistent here for FUS Rabat. He's been lethal on offense, but let's look at that replay there. Putney denied by that man, Abdel Hakim Zwita. Wow, look at that.
Maxi Shamba fouls, and that will be his third foul. And a chance for Zuzua just to extend his lead. Q, this is high octane, a battle worthy of the BAL.
This is BAL basketball, intensity on both ends of the floor, and impossible to tell which way this is going to go.
A 1-point lead. Maxi Shamba, Amayo. FUS Rabat just changing their tactics a little bit, getting in the face. Oh! Maxi Shamba unable to take that pass. Takes his eye off the ball momentarily.
And of course, shock in the eyes of Amayo. He's also trying to share the blame with Maxi Shamba. Just speaks to the chemistry that the two of them have. But they know that every possession here counts. And you can see that there's a man-to-man defense as Maxi puts pressure on Jordan.
And Kelvin Amayo takes down Jordan.
And that's his first personal foul, Kelvin Amayo. He's been playing clean all night.
That's something that Q would not know about. No, I can't. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing you, Q. I can see your response. You know that I'm just joking.
Q, I can be your lawyer.
I know all about clean play, all right?
Okay. I'm so, honestly, I just a slip of the tongue. Here we go. Zuzua back out to Azuga. Nicely done. Jordan goes up, tries to get another chance. It's Olisameka who gets the rebound.
Yeah, a little shot there from Jordan.
Maxi Shamba, 1-point lead still for the Hoopers. Amayo goes up, tries to find it. There's Olisameka. Great strength in the paint from Olisameka.
That's a big bucket there. It's a big boy move from Olisameka. He gets one in the paint against Zwita, and timely.
6 points for him. Zuzua. Zwita. Jordan, look at Jordan. Comes out wide, that's so close. Zuzua sees it just rattle the rim and fly back out. And at one point we saw Jordan, he was in the place of where the center should be.
Well, that man, the way he elevates from the ground is incredible, Jordan.
Great work, great hustling there from Nui, picked up by Zwita, tries to go up, it's an easy layup for him, despite the fact that Olisameka is charging him down. Big scores, and look what he's got 19 points, he's just moved ahead of Zuzua now.
Amazing, he's the highest scorer there for FUS Rabat so far.
Amayo drops it in, Olisameka bides his time. Smart play from the big Nigerian.
It is 8 points for Olisameka, who is a candidate for a double-double here today. He already has been impressive on the rebound section with 12 so far.
Jordan, shot clock down to 7, needs to make a decision. The ball coming out of his hands. It was touched there by Maxi Shamba. And a timeout has been called. Fantastic basketball being played here. 78-75. The Hoopers move ahead by 3. Time for a break, and we'll be back.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est le moment tant attendu pour ceux qui font le maximum de bruit. T-shirt gratuit!
13. But guess who the man of the moment is? Jordan, with 11 assists on top of what he's done offensively in terms of scoring.
Nui gets the ball out, there's a good chance. It goes in!
Zuzua, the man of the moment, 21 points.
Level.
Incredible.
Level incredible. Wow. Q, did you get the temperature?
It's red hot, and it's becoming even hotter courtside here for sure.
Olasameka loses possession. Nui picks it up. A chance for FUS Rabat to go ahead. 3:12 left to play. It's flung back out. Zuzua gets the ball. Waits for Zwita. Needs the big man in the middle. Jordan. Nui. Oh, the foot was over the line. That is just a major error with, what, 3:02 left to play, 3:01.
It is a game of fine margins. You can see and feel the tension on and off the court, on the bench. Everyone is trying to make sure that they do the right thing here. But the Rivers Hoopers trying to control the tempo and run down that clock.
Picks up is Akech gets it out, maximizing his efforts there. It doesn't fall for Maxi Shamba.
Maxi Shamba, the maximizer. This is really going to be his name.
Amayo for three. Oh, that's well picked up. Excellent play there from Azuga, and a chance for them. Jordan for three. Doesn't get a shot. It's taken up very quickly. Amayo, he's got the big man next to him. He goes home alone. Big shoe there for Amayo.
Wow, Kelvin Amayo, calm, cool, and collected. Easy basket there to give the Rivers Hoopers a 2-point lead with 2 minutes to play.
And basically all of his points have come in the second half.
Wow, incredible.
Nui, Jordan, 1:58 to go. Zuzua, oh, that's nearly a great pass. Zwita does well. Nui into the paint, goes out. Zuzua, oh, that's so close. Shot clock down to 0, unable to get those points. Hoopers have a 2-point lead.
Looking at the replay there, great eyes from Madu Takech to give Kelvin Amayo that fast break, easy basket, and frustration here for Ben Hemingway. And you can see that FUS Rabat want to stay in this game and see if they can win it.
Timeout's been called, 80-78, 146, and it's Ogo Odadu of the Rivers Hoopers. He wants to get his tactics right. Good opportunity for Said El Bouzidi to also try and organize themselves and his players, but this is just incredibly intense, isn't it? We go into the wire with this one, Asha, but what a game. What an incredible game.
This is exactly what we expected here in Season 5. Of course, two great teams that understand what is on the line. The Rivers Hoopers coming in as the Nigerian champions, FUS Rabat as well as the Moroccan champions. Both teams did not need to go through the road to the BAL. They have an automatic slot. But looking at that replay again, Madut Akech finding Kelvin Amayo in acres of space. He keeps an eye on Patney. Zuzua comes in to defend. Nuhi a little bit late, and Amayo finishes. Fine touch there for the man in form.
Q, we're coming over to you as we see just Mayo's matched his point tally from yesterday, of course, but his field goal percentage up to 54, three-point percentage 38 rather than 10 yesterday. Over to you.
Well, Amayo is going to play a big role here for Coach Oga Odadu. He's going to be the primary playmaker, and what we're going to see is his decision-making ultimately down the stretch because the ball is going to be in his hands.
And talking about hands, you can see that all the FUS Rabat fans are under pressure. They're trying to coach the team from the stands. Everyone has opinions, but that man, Said El Bouzidi, holds the key to whether FUS Rabat can get their first victory here in Season 5, or they could go down 0-2.
Olasameka, Amayo out wide. Ahly drives through. Oh, he's a beautiful, beautiful drive. Wonderful layup and a 4-point lead. 1:38 to go.
And that's exactly what Putney brings to this Rivers Hoopers side. They missed him when he was on the bench with the 4 fouls. He still has the 4 fouls, but that experience you can't buy in the market.
Zazua, hounded, hassled, picked up, and stolen. Amayo for 2! Wow! Big players make big plays in big moments. Amayo celebrating after that pass that Olisameka took straight out of the hands, straight out of the air from Zazua.
That is back-to-back easy baskets for Kelvin Amayo in transition. Good eyes there from Olisameka, and of course the steal, and he finishes nicely. This speaks to a team that has experience. It is a 6-point game with 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. Roby, we've seen stranger things happen in the game of basketball and in life in general.
Exactly, and I think that we've got to understand that Olisameka and Amayo, they've got so much good synergy that, you know, in those desperate moments where they need points, they work and they communicate and they understand without even having to think, and that's brilliant. Q, over to you quickly.
Well, the bench, lots of tension here for Coach Saeed Al-Bouzidi and Zazua. They understand the importance of shot making, and you can almost see the pressure on Zazua's face. They have to get a score off this possession.
6 points, 114. Foul count is low, so we're not going to be spending much time at the free throw line, unless.
And looking at those two very important men, Kelvin Amayo, 21 points, 19 for Zwita on the other side, 70% in the field, and 3 threes for Amayo.
Picked up by Jordan once again, has his first shot tampered with. Oh, it's Zazua. Oh, that's a big block. Look at that. That was a monster block coming. Is Olisameka. Big smash, Amayo. Slamming it down.
That is 3 straight baskets in transition from Amayo.
Great score, great response coming from Azuga.
Wow, 6-point game with 50 seconds on the clock.
8-point game. No, they got their 80 now. Points up on the scoreboard. Maxi Shamba, they got to go and get the ball. Got to go and get the ball. It won't come to you.
And of course you can see that the Rivers Hoopers are trying to spread out the court.
Putney, Olisameka. Driving through, foul committed.
Wow, Olisameka going to the free throw line. He's 0 for 5 today against FUS Rabat. He's not been able to connect from the charity line, and he'll be hoping that he can make it count on this particular trip. And that could go a long way in helping the Rivers Hoopers to perhaps bag that second victory. But look at the bench. Look at what it means for them that Amayo was able to down those 2 points. That's 0 for 6 from Olisameka. Of course, pressure, we've talked a lot about that. But this man, 23 points and 60% from the field for Kelvin Amayo. He's been consistent and working his way through the game.
Double miss, picked up by Jordan. They got to go, they got to get 3 points. They got to go quickly. That's a big score from Jordan. Back up, he's up to 8, doesn't matter. 26 seconds remaining. It goes out wide, Maxi Shamba. They got to try and do something with this. And there's the foul committed by Zazua. Had to get in there. You got no choice, you got to stop the clock.
While you were talking about the 3-pointer, of course, good decision for Jordan to get the 2 easy ones. Quick man-to-man defense from FUS Rabat and reaction, but Maxi Shamba taking the leadership there and saying, calm down, let's run the clock. We are the ones who have the ball, and FUS Rabat have to chase.
Zazua, 21 points. Shakes his head because he's obviously frustrated because he's put in a masterclass performance today. It's just not been enough. Some of the players, they'll be looking at what they've done, but it's just the Rivers Hoopers who've been great.
Yeah, the Rivers Hoopers, of course, have the same momentum that they had in Season 4 when so many people gave them a chance in the season. They went all the way to third place, and that experience is what they're digging into today.
And Zuzua just picking up his 5th foul, and that's why he'll no longer take part in this one.
Yeah, that's a very sad end for Zuzua, who, of course, is exceptional tonight. 21 points, the highest point scorer until this point for FUS Rabat, as Olise Meka tries to correct that 0 for 6 on the free throw line.
And one more point and he gets his double-double.
Exactly, incredible. So that's 1 for 8, a double-double, impressive there. 13 rebounds. Wow.
There he is, Olise Meka, double-double tonight. And a timeout has been called. 16.9 seconds remaining. And we can see that it's 88 points to 82.
Yes, the game is still alive, Roby. 6 points, 2 quick three-pointers here, some crazy defense, and the game could change. The momentum could change.
Well, the Rivers Hoopers, of course, as we know, finishing 3rd in Kigali in the finals in season 4. Understandably pushing forward, and they want to try and go even better, go even further in season 5. As we take a look at the game summary, stats are looking very solid. 42 rebounds, 18 assists. Field goal percentage is good, and they've got a 6-point lead going into this, the final couple of plays. But just look at this, and look at Olise Meka, there's his double-double.
Yeah, there is the double-double from Peter Olise Meka. He has done incredible work on defense. It will not show here on the stats chart tonight, but what a leader also for the rest of the players, and also partnering well with Patney in that paint, as well as Ike Ugona. But of course, the difference here being for the Rivers Hoopers, 11 three-pointers, 3 more than FUS Rabat. And looking at Zua, of course, frustrated as he chats with Mike Fofana, who has not had a role to play here today.
Zuga, Jordan, got to get points quickly, goes up for the 3. Just off the front of the rim, picked up by Zuita. Another chance, big long-range shot. And that's been made safe. And that should be enough. There it is. That's the final buzzer. Patney doesn't need to shoot. The Rivers Hoopers have got 2 from 2, underlining Nigerian basketball and where they're at the moment. It's looking very strong, and they'll be very happy with that, because that's a step closer towards qualification for the finals in Pretoria. And they're spilling their fine form from last season into this year, and 2 great performances.
Yeah, of course, their fans back in Port Harcourt will be celebrating this victory. Niger no di carry last, as of course their fans will be looking at that scoreline and being comfortable that now they have 2 out of 2. They have 4 more games to go, and they could have 1 foot in Pretoria for the players. But of course, Ike Ugona, that man, Kelvin Amayo, incredible on offense, on defense, but in general, teamwork that has helped Coach Odaudu's team to stand tall tonight in Rabat.
Hey, just remember, there's more games to play. There's 4 more games. This is just 2. We've seen comebacks. We've seen teams hit back after losing their first 2 and still qualify for the finals. So they've just got to take this. They've got to understand what they've done. FUS Rabat are not done and dusted by any means. They're a great team, and they're working hard to find the right winning formula.
Yeah, one of the things that is a standout statistic here today is 23 second chance points by the Rivers Hoopers. Yesterday, FUS Rabat conceded 16. They thought they could deal with that today, but unfortunately...